bum 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 Fuck, I am a fat c***, hey, holy shit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, fuck. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of RuneNews. It's your boy, Ryan, and it feels good to be back on our weekly RuneNews roster. In this week's video, we'll be discussing the latest old school RuneScape update, a brief description on why RS3 is shit, and then Wade Green will be taking the reins on the discussion as to why the FANG and the MASORI kit is absolutely plummeting now in price on the Grand Exchange from Tombs of a Massacre. All of that to come and more in this episode of RuneNews. We just have one brief question for you all to answer down below in the comment section, and it's related to getting scammed in RuneScape. What was the first time you got scammed playing RuneScape? It could be the old version of RuneScape, the current RS3, or old school RuneScape now. How much did you get scammed for? What did you fall for? And how old were you roughly? Leave your answer in the comment section down below. Hit the like button while you're down there if you're enjoying the content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Strap in and strap on, boys, and get ready for RuneNews. Also, I'm doing my monthly 24-hour stream this Friday, so about like 44 hours from the release of this video, I'll be live right here on YouTube where I stream 5 days a week. It will be a 24-hour stream on Friday into Saturday. Make sure you come by, show some love, drop a like, just say hi, and then call me a cunt and fuck off if you have to, but I'd love to see you all there, so make sure you do come by right here on YouTube where we stream 5 days a week. 24-hour stream on Friday. Don't miss it. In this week's update, we're given some diversity and inclusion changes to old school RuneScape. Now, this is typically going to split the community into three different categories. Number one, you've got the happy people who are all about this update. They're keen, they're going to be celebrating, have a fucking party in my pants, and you're all invited. That's great, and I'm happy for you. Group number two is going to be the kind that'll sit in Falador with their cannons riding, we pay, no gay, get all this diversity shit out of my game, whatever, you're a dickhead. And if you're in that category, fuck you. And then category number three, my favorite category, is the kind of people that play this game and see this and they don't give 2/3 of a shit. This doesn't affect the way I play the fucking game. This doesn't affect the way half the players play this fucking game. So just move on and continue playing the game the way you do. No one cares if you can now get a free fucking sex change in Varrock. Or if you throw in a miscellanea, you can be a man and marry another fucking man. 2 kings running 1 kingdom sounds fucking badass. Why the fuck not? So if you're gonna be part of that group that wants to attack the people who are celebrating diversity, let me give you some advice. Shut the fuck up. No one cares, and you're not actually very funny. I don't really have too much else to say on this part of the update. I have noticed here that they've made the ham members, both male and female, are now given the same XP per pickpocket. Normally the women would give you less. They'd give you less money as well, because typically men earn more than women by about 30%. That's a joke, by the way. So they've actually closed the XP and wage gap within ham members, and everyone is getting paid and experienced equally. Moving on to quest speedrunning. Now, they've added 2 new quests. I'll try to keep it simple on that page. You got Prince Alley Rescue, and you got Beneath Cursed Sands. Now, the best part about this is no one gives a fuck. Quest speedrunning's kind of shit. I haven't tried it myself, but I know it's pretty dead. I've seen the worlds. They've got A Taste of Hope and Sins of the Father coming in December. Unfortunately, I personally don't mind the idea of quest speedrunning. It's just unfortunate that it's fucking shit. And that's just the way that the game is, unfortunately. Questing is great, but it's not the kind of content that we want to be forcing down people's throat. Although the graceful outfit does look fucking lit. So, outside of that, if you do enjoy quest speed running, good for you. You got 2 more quests to do, which means it's going to be even easier to get this outfit. If you don't care about quest speed running, don't worry, we're going to move on right now. Except, hold on, they've made some changes to quality of life changes to rat catchers here. Unfortunately, the only quality of life change that can actually fix rat catchers is to remove that quest from the fucking game. So, still a disappointment in that field of the updates this week. Moving on to Tombs of a Massacre. This will be discussed by Wade Green in the Grand Exchange segment, so stick around in about 2 minutes' time. Your boy's going to be delivering some hot facts on why the FANG and MASORI is actually low in price and how we as a community can help build that price back up to help your bank value. Halloween 2022, the event has been a success. I haven't done it, but it looks good. I'm a fan of how, like, we work together as a community to fill that little pot there to get, like, more gear or something. I think there should be more of that throughout events, Christmas, Easter, and just like a general global one. It could even be a gold sync for the game, so it'd be good to do more events like that, Jagex. Big global targets for everyone to reach by just putting their dick in a fucking hole. Finally, Crack the Clue 3. I haven't looked at it too much. I saw Fo doing it on Twitch once. Apparently, it's pretty fucking hard. I don't think it's been solved yet, given by this statement. I don't think it has. And if you're interested in it, make sure you check it out. I won't be because I ain't got time for that shit, but I'm keen to see the fix. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the solution, not for the journey. Fuck that. I want to take the shortcut. And finally, we've got other changes. And as you know, every month we get one section of other changes in an update that's actually good. Every other one of the month is shit. This month, it's still shit. So we're going to move on. I'm going to give you guys a quick 5-second breakdown on what is wrong with RuneScape 3. Then Wade Green's going to take the stand and give you guys some hot facts on the Osmonton's FANG, MASORI body kits, well, the MASORI armor, the whole kit, sorry, and mole slippers. So stick around. Don't be shit. And hit the fucking like button. I know you haven't hit the like button yet. Scroll down, hit the fucking like button. Now, RuneScape 3 has been trending a little bit because Fresh Start Worlds have actually been going quite successfully as opposed to the Fresh Start Worlds for old school RuneScape. The only problem with RuneScape 3 in general is that it's fucking dog shit. Fuck, I am a fat cunt, hey, holy shit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Wade Green and welcome back to RuneNews. And this week we got the Grand Exchange segment, but we're gonna dive in a little bit to some items. So we will be skipping the traditional biggest rise, biggest loss, and most traded items, and we won't be doing a girlfriend exposure this week. That'll be saved for next week's content. This week we're gonna dive in to the Osmonton's FANG and why the price is plummeting. This is the problem. A lot of people will just say, well, the drop rate's too low and it was too strong, so the price is low. This is wrong. The drop rate being as common as it is a problem. I will admit, yes, you are correct, but it is definitely not the majority of the problem. I would say the drop rate is maybe 30% of the problem here, maybe 35, all right? 35% of the problem is the drop rate. The other 65% is very simple. Now, what I'm about to reveal to you is honestly just pretty fucking basic, and it takes a little bit of critical thinking that a lot of the community doesn't do. So try to stay with me. What I'm going to need you to do is list me 5 monsters in this game, not including Turns of a Mascot. 5 monsters that are weak to stab that you would typically stab in game. Okay? Doesn't matter about the defense. Fang, Rapier, Spear, Hasta. 5 things weak to stab. Let me tell you right now, you've got Corp. Okay, the Zamorak Spear still is best in slot at Corp, and it always was, even with the previous FANG nerf. Now, this was better in a mass, but no one did mass Corp, really. Let's be honest. You weren't massing Corp, so don't use it as a fucking argument. Second, you've got Nex. Yes, Nex is good. The FANG is good in Nex. I'll give you that, all right? No one wants to kill Nex, but it is best in slot at Nex. What else do you have? Dragons. Okay, let's start with Vorkarth. The Dragon Hunter Lance was always better than the FANG at Vorkarth. The FANG was just easier to get, okay? I'll give you that. But the Lance was always better. Now the Lance is definitely better. The Lance dropped in price. No one gave a fuck. But the Lance was better with the old FANG, and now it's even better with the new FANG, okay? Vorkarth is not a question. Now, one argument I loved, this is a great one, you'll love this. People will come to my streams here on YouTube and say, well, the FANG is best in slot at Rune Dragons. And I'm like, okay, alright, FANG's best slot at Rune Dragons. It's killing the Lance. Name that, well, there's 2 types of people that kill Rune Dragons. Slayer tasks, bots. That's it. You weren't fucking killing Rune Dragons. You've never killed Rune Dragons outside of the quest or Slayer tasks, and you're gonna sit there and be like, well, the FANG's a problem because it's best in slot at Rune Dragons, and I can't seem to get the FANG properly because it's too fucking strong. But you don't fucking kill Rune Dragons. It's a fucking bot farm. What are you complaining about? You're just fishing for shit because you haven't got any fucking foundation to stand on your argument. All right, the Dragon Hunter Lance is best in slot on dragons. You use the FANG if you don't have a Lance, okay? Iron Men benefit from the FANG. If you can pay for the FANG, like if you're on a main account now, you don't need the FANG. It's really an Iron Man's weapon now with this nerf, okay? The logic that it was too strong is busted, okay? Now let me get this straight. Let me say this real quick. I'm okay with the nerf. I don't mind the nerf. I think the nerf's fine. I don't think it was necessary, but I think the nerf is okay. But we're talking about why the price has plummeted. It's because stab is shit, and that is my point. You couldn't give me 5 monsters worth fucking stabbing in this game. People will say, well, the Rapier is good. The Rapier is good to use for Slayer. Guess what else is good for Slayer? The Whip. And it cost you 2 fucking mil. Fuck it, 2.5 mil if you put a tentacle on it. Why would you buy a fucking rapier if you can use it with temp whip? Huh? Why would you pay 80 mil? The rapier was dead content on release until fucking Next came out. You tell me that right now. Tell me that this is the bigger problem here is that stab is shit outside of TOA. The FANG is only useful inside of Terms of a Massacre on an account that can trade on the Grand Exchange now, at this point. There is no need to use it. Because there was no need to use the rapier, people will say, the rapier is best in slot on Vasa Crystals. That's wrong, it's Dragon Claws and you fucking know it, okay? But it's still not, like, Vasa Crystals isn't an argument to be using stab weapons. Like, it's just not enough foundation. Anything that is weak to stab either is a dragon, or you can just range it with the Bofa. Those are your two facts. Your only two options that aren't included is Corp and Nex. Okay? The FANG is best in slot on Nex, and I'll give you that. But we know Nex, no one wants to fucking kill Nex, but it is best in slot there. And then you've got Corp. Use the fucking spear anyway. Okay? So you're stuck with an attack style that is shit. And then you've just got to nerf the weapon to make the Bludgeon and the Dragon Hunter Lance more useful, making the FANG even more useless outside of TOA. You've given it zero use unless you're at TOA. Now this is like, a lot of people are going to be like, this is incorrect, it's the drop rate, they should fix the drop rate, and if that's all you want to keep preaching, that's fine. It just takes a little bit of critical thinking to understand that the FANG is dropping in price not just because of the nerf and it being common, but also because it is useless, okay? It is great for Iron Men because the Bludgeon and the Dragon Hunter Lance are fucking grinds, okay? But with this, you don't need to do the grind. This is easy to get. For an account where you can use it on the Grand Exchange, you don't need a FANG. You really don't, unless you're doing Terms of Massacre. Because it's cheaper to buy a Dragon Hunter Lance now. You can just get a Dragon Hunter Lance and you're sweet. You can just buy a Bludgeon and a Lance for the same price as the FANG. So there's no point in owning one unless you're at Terms of a Massacre. And that is why the price is dropping. Yes, it's being put in the game. I get it. The drop rate is high. They can't really change the drop rate now. It won't make a difference. Changing the drop rate will not change a thing unless they bought like 90% of the FANGs out of the game with the Grand Exchange tax. Changing the drop rate now won't change a thing. Terms of Massacre is being fucking farmed to shit. Okay? People preaching for drop rate changes. You have no fucking brain. You're not thinking about this logically. It is too late for a drop rate change. It is far too late. If you want to fix this problem, you have two choices. Choice number one, they can revert it so it works like it does in TOA outside of TOA. They can, honestly, in my opinion, if they did that, get rid of the spec or make the spec more, like, you know, make it take more energy, sorry. Another choice is to make it a 4-tick weapon and also change the spec so it's like a 50-50 instead. Making a 4-tick weapon will make it stronger than what it was before the nerf, but it will also still keep it inaccurate. So DPS will go up, but zeros will still be quite prevalent. And DPS calculators are not, obviously, like, it's not the law. If you start missing ticks, DPS calculators lose value, right? Because they're intended for you to be tick perfect. So there's just a guideline when you use a DPS calculator. The FANG will go up in DPS if it was a 4-tick weapon, but it will also be, it'll still be just as inaccurate. So that's just like a spitballing idea. Other ways to fix the FANG price really is to just start buying it off with the Grand Exchange tax. But in all honesty, the last way to fix the FANG price is monsters that are weak to stab. Give it a use, because currently the FANG doesn't have a use outside of TOA. It really doesn't. Like, in all honesty, unless you're an Iron Man, there is no point having a FANG. There's no point having a rapier unless you want to go to Nex. That's it. Those are your only choices. The rapier was worth 60 mil, and the Nex came out and it had value. Then TOA came out and the FANG was better, so you put the rapier back. The rapier is holding value because no one wants it, no one even fucking pays attention to it. That's going to start dropping too. These will probably settle around 60, 50 mil, I'd say, if we keep going this way. One last thing to note here before we move on to the MASORI armor kit, which is another fact. I'm just trying to remember what the fuck it was. Fuck. Oh yeah, however, one thing I will tell you about the FANG, this is in this very special category that the Bofa and Zora all share. So 3 things that the FANG, Bofa, and Zora have in common. Okay? Any PVM content going forward, doesn't matter what it is, every piece of PVM content, 3 items are guaranteed to rise. The FANG, the Bofa, and anything from Zora. Serp Helmet, especially, and Scales. Because we're guaranteed the safest melee weapon to use is the FANG, because it is the most accurate melee weapon. It really is. So if Jagex gives us a new boss in 6 months' time, this is going to skyrocket because everyone's going to want one. Just in case, because no matter what the attack style is, this is the one that's likely to hit, regardless. So you're going to take a FANG. Same for the Bofa, because the Bofa is the most reliable and most accurate range weapon. Unless the tbow, but you don't know, the tbow only is if there's a high magic level, right? So you're better off taking a Bofa and gauging whether it's actually worth taking a ranged weapon in general. You take that with a tbow, I guess. And then of course there's Zora. The Serb helmet is the safe helmet because it's good, it's tanky, strength bonus, and it gives venom resistance, which means on day one release, you don't have to worry about certain mechanics. It completely removes the idea of having poison mechanics. So PVM updates in the future. FANG, Bofa, and Serb helmets will always rise. I mean, the Bofa goes to 200 mil every time a new piece of content comes out, and it drops down to 150 again. Happened with Next, happened with TOA, it's gonna happen with every fucking piece of PVM content going forward. Happens with Zora. People are making more money at Zora than TOA on release. It happens every time. So keep that in mind. The FANG is now part of that category. Now we're gonna move on to, Now we're going to move on to the MASORI body kit. Oh, sorry, the armor set. So the MASORI armor set is also dropping, and people are concerned because MASORI is worth less than Torva. Now, I'll try to be quick and I won't drag out too long here. Here's the point. MASORI, all right? You only really are going to use MASORI. I mean, you'll use it with a blowpipe, but let's be honest, you're only going to use MASORI if you have a tbow or a Zarak crossbow. What's your other option? A Bofa? You're not going to use MASORI with a Bofa. But MASORI has to compete with Crystal Armor. Now, you'll have a bunch of sweats who are already past the Bofa phase and they're like, Crystal's fucking useless. Yes, here's the MASORI kit. Yeah, you're a dickhead. Shut the fuck up. You're not thinking logically, okay? You're thinking about yourself, not thinking about the game. Critical thinking, people. MASORI competes with Crystal, okay? Because if you have a Bofa, you're not going to use MASORI. Now, if you have a tbow, great. But you're not going to buy the MASORI first. You're not going to buy MASORI first. You'll buy the Zarak crossbow and or the tbow before you buy MASORI. You will never buy MASORI just in case, because if you've got like let me paint the scenario so it makes sense to the fucking idiots that are watching. Like, duh, what do you mean? All right, you've got a Bofa and Crystal. Okay, you're at that stage of the game. Time to move on to the tbow. You're not going to buy MASORI until you have a tbow. You'll always buy the tbow first. You'll always buy the Zarak crossbow first. Then you'll buy MASORI. You will not buy MASORI first, because then you've got MASORI and you've got Crystal and you've got a Bofa. Just use Crystal Bofa until you get the tbow. Does that make sense? So MASORI has to compete with Crystal. Then you have tbow and Crystal, and that's perfectly fine. Tbow Crystal is great. Yeah, MASORI's better, but tbow Crystal is great. So that's where MASORI sits. MASORI has to compete with the necessity or even just the practicality of Crystal or Armadillo even. There has to compete with that and the idea of the Bofa. Whereas Torva, which let's acknowledge the fact that Next is a shitter fucking grind than TOA, so that is also a huge factor here, but also Torva competes with what? Inquisitors in Chambers of Xeric and Nightmare? Sure. But Torva competes with nothing else, nowhere else. That's why Torva holds its value higher than MASORI. Ranged is already powerful. MASORI doesn't add that much value. People are using Elite Void in Tob still for speedrunning. MASORI is dropping not because it's shit, but because it has competition. It's not a drop rate thing. It's not, oh, people are getting MASORI sub 300. It's not a drop rate thing. The drops being, the content being farmed so much, okay, yes, it's a factor, not a problem. But it's not the main contributing factor. It's like 30% of the problem. The rest of the problem is literally that it has to compete with Crystal. But you won't, people genuinely won't think about that and then shit on the whole idea of TOA, and then Jagex panics and gives us fucking retarded changes. Critical thinking, people. It's all it takes. Just a little bit of brain power. Think about more than just how you play the game and how you want the game to be for you. Think about the game in general. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm thinking about the bigger picture, the future of the game. Not, oh, I want to be able to speedrun Tob a little bit faster. They should nerf Crystal so my MASORI's more. No! Let me a fucking dickhead. Shut the fuck up. Get over it. Alright? MASORI is great, but it has a competition. Alright? You wouldn't understand. You're not on this level of brain power game. You just go back to fucking panic clicking yellow and killing your team in fucking bloat. Let your boy over here do the big brain strategies, and I'll deliver the fucking news and explain why content like this is fucking dipping, okay? I'm not disregarding or disagreeing with any of the drop rate claims at all. I don't believe they are the main problem to why these prices are dropping. They are a factor, but changing the drop rates will not fix this. It just won't. it is too late. It won't fix it. There's no logical reason as to why it will fix it when the problem of these items is outside of the raid. It's outside of the drop rate. So I don't want to hear about drop rate changes being a fix, because it's not a fix. It's copium. Then finally, this week we got the mole slippers, which have obviously dropped in price over 3 weeks. Not being on RuneNews for 3 weeks. I do apologize, guys, but going forward, mole slippers will be going back up in price. So if you have got some spare change, because obviously you're a fuckwit and you're buying you're spending 200 mil on fangs and selling it for 70 mil. If you got any spare money laying around, get yourself some mole slippers today. Now here's the point. Mole slippers have 0 negative stats, meaning they are best in slot when it comes to tri-breeding in combat. Another factor is that they are going to reach 1 mil by the end of next year. So buy yourself some mole slippers. Tell your friends to buy mole slippers after you've done it, of course. That way, the value of yours goes up as they buy their mole slippers. It's a pyramid scheme. You want to make money? Get your friends to buy mole slippers. You buy 4, they buy 4. Your 4 are worth just as much as theirs were. You make bank. Hold on to them until it reaches 1 mil. I can guarantee you they will by the end of next year. Mark my fucking words. My name is Wade Green, and that's my rant over for this week. Suck my dick, and I'll see you in the live streams in about 6 hours' time. Fuck off. Our first Iron Man moment this week comes from one of the girl group Iron Man Winter Thoughts. Although it's on her main account, which is toxic, but she got a 3rd age helmet. Her name's Tanya. Alright, she's from Leeds. Alright, she likes chicken nuggets. Yeah, no. You what? And she got herself a 3rd age helmet, you know. Now, she's looking great over here. This is a great screenshot too she sent. It's actually well done and well cropped. A lot of you fuckers can't actually send the screenshots through properly, so it's good to see. You know, just having a good fucking screenshot. It's real nice. It looks like we've got some fresh chicken nuggets here to go on the feet too. It's fucking quality, that is. So, well done to Tanya there. Thank you for your support, and appreciate the screenshot. GZ. That was a terrible fucking accent. Next up, someone got a fire cape. I don't know who. It just says C Engineer. But the username actually isn't anywhere on here. So whoever got their fire cape, well done. Congratulations. Good accomplishment. I'm proud of you. I don't know who the fuck you are, but GZ. And then finally, this guy got 100 combat. His name is Raging Karma, but his screenshot also had his Steam client in it for some reason. And this is how it came out. So, this is the screenshot. He got 100 combat. I think it was at Deviant Spectres. You can tell he's a noob because he's at Deviant Spectres. And yeah, if that means you're gonna get hacked, I would change that immediately. I'd tighten your security. But yeah, GZ, dude, congratulations. Fuck me. That's gonna be it for RuneNews this week, guys. I appreciate the love and support. Come by to the 24-hour stream this week on Friday. Don't be a shit cunt, and I'll see you guys in the live stream. I'll be live in about, I don't know, fucking 8 hours from now, from the release of this video at least. So suck my dick and don't be shit. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.